Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another Wuthering Waves video, and this time it's going to be a blast to the past based off of some very public Twitter posts that the Wuthering Waves page has been making, not on just Twitter, but on YouTube as well, in pretty much every single language you can imagine. The best way for us to do a bit of review over here is to just, well, take a look at what's going on. Spring is bursting into life, and the contenders are fired up. As blossoms unfold, the thrilling spring sports games are set to ignite the season. Tomorrow, Camellia dares you to a head-to-head face-off. Will you rise to the challenge? And, well, you kind of just look at this, right? And you see, like, the Camellia mascot over here, Camille, just, you know, having, like, some fun, doing a bunch of different Olympic sports, all of that, track and field, weightlifting, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that is, but I guess she's, like, shooting something. And then you see, you know, just across the screen, a bunch of different characters, a bunch of people, but something very odd right in the center. A 7 and then a 10. Kind of interesting, right? Some might remember this reference. Some might know if they have the elite ball knowledge for some of the drama, some of the situations that have occurred in the past. It's ironic that there are comments like this. This is funny. Fleur-de-lis. Why 7? She deserves a 10. And this is where individuals across the space can take the opportunity to get enlightened on the origin of a score like this. Because 7 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, it's something that's being known or recognized worldwide. You can see we got the EN version over here. We've got the JP version over here. And of course, we've even got the Korean version down here as well. Our goal for today is to do a bit of a recollection on why these two numbers are so important and why these two numbers are so incredible in the Wuthering Waves space. So for some context over here, the 7 out of 10 drama was essentially related to the Wuthering Waves 2.5 story. And there have been multiple videos, multiple recollections on just how absurd this drama got. Glaive Keo actually put out an entire video, how a 7 out of 10 review for Wuthering Waves' 2.5 story spiraled into a narrative war. The full story of the Jenazad drama. And so if you want some context on Jenazad and who he kind of like is as a streamer, Jenazad is basically a former Wuthering Waves CC that essentially assassinated his entire reputation in the community by crashing out in one of the most ridiculous ways possible. And the best way for us to take a look at that is to just see the crash out itself, immortalized in history across a bunch of different YouTube videos.
A crash out.
Someone's mad because I yapped during story. I don't care what they think. Curl bots are a waste of breath, bro. They're worthless. I do not care what those people think. I haven't even looked at the comments. I have a bunch of notifications on YouTube. Do not care what they think. You know, I'm down to read comments for videos. It's not even worthwhile reading comments when it's about Wuthering Waves, because it's just the dumbest humans in existence always comment.
So this is a pretty crazy statement to make in pretty much any context ever. And you would have to assume that the comments being made, the things being said, right, to this CC were some of the most vile things imaginable. But I really went ahead. I did a bit of an investigation myself, and the reality of the situation was this. There was nothing that actually happened. There was nothing that was actually said. And I do believe we have a perfect breakdown of the worst actual comment that was made during this situation. We had a previous video going over the matter. And this is where we start going over on Jenazad's story review of Wuthering Waves 2.5 in a deleted video. The worst comments made by the Wuthering Waves community. The worst comments made that, again, warranted.
Not worth it. They're too stupid to live.
Statements like that. Let's go ahead. Let's go down memory lane together. So let's see what some of the comments were saying. My entire time, the last bit during the back and forth was me saying, okay, no, this is literally the top upvoted comment, and there's nothing toxic, negative, nothing like that at all in here. I don't see, this is just commentary on the story. I'm going to preface this prior to my statement as I don't want to be labeled as toxic. Jenna, I feel like you barely watched the story for this one to have a take of it confused me. This just sounds like a fair critique from a longtime viewer. I don't think you were yapping as the other comments might echo, but you were definitely not focused. I genuinely hope I am not coming off as rude. All is good. Do those sound like people that don't deserve to live? Does that sound like the most vile shit ever? Does that sound like commentary, right? These are the top upvoted ones, right? Do these look like comments that deserve the amount of feedback, the amount of toxicity that we saw in that crash out? This sounds like a longtime viewer with a legitimate point of feedback, knowing that they have watched your prior streams and your prior content before. I don't necessarily consider this like an overwhelmingly toxic community response. This sounds like somebody that watched the entire stream and overall had a point of critique to say. Because I think I'm doing a fair analysis of this, aren't I? Because like they thought that the stream could have been better if he had done different things, like paying more attention. Yeah, I don't see any toxicity in here. I don't see the whole like maybe there's worse stuff. Let's see. No amount of good storytelling can save a clapped CC that has the attention span of a walnut. Okay, that one's mean. I can confirm. Post review. Post everything that got reviewed in this comment section. That was the most offensive comment left on Jenazad's video. No amount of good storytelling can save a clapped CC that has the attention span of a walnut. There's a reason why Jenazad is now known by a nickname of Clapped Walnut. If you say the phrase Clapped Walnut in the Wuthering Waves space, he is the streamer. He is the content creator that immediately comes to mind. Do you see how devastating a reference like this is now? Do you see how devastating a callback to a situation like this is now? Where Jenazad rated the story 7 out of 10, gave the reasoning of, the language was too flowery, I couldn't understand it. When in reality, he was basically just chatting the whole time, not focusing on whatever the hell was going on. And so a lot of people viewed his rating as illegitimate simply due to the fact that he wasn't paying attention at all to the story. And that's what he was getting called out for in basically every single comment over here. But it was fair criticism. It was honest critique. And the main thing is, aside from being called a clapped walnut, there wasn't really any toxicity at all. But remember, this is what he was saying.
A bunch of notifications on YouTube. Do not care what they think. You know, I'm down to read comments for videos. It's not even worthwhile reading comments when it's about Wuthering Waves, because it's just the dumbest humans in existence always comment.
Those are the comments. You can see all of them. And naturally, the move that Jenna made following this situation was to just delete this video and delete all of the comments as well, so naturally he couldn't get caught on what was going on. But unfortunately, a statement like this is so volatile. A statement like this is so fucking crazy, and it's obviously just a giant aggro to the entire community. It's been immortalized. And there's a reason why, when you just go ahead, right, and you take a look at this guy's channel, when's the last time he I'm sorry for fucking up his SEO. When's the last time he uploaded a Wuthering Waves video? Let's just... 3.0 is looking crazy. Sure. Let's just see how frequently he uploads compared to when he was uploading before. More than a 7 out of 10 patch. The Wuthering Waves 2.5 situation is crazy. This is where he attempted to apologize for the situation. What? Oh my... That is diabolical. That might be one of the worst like ratios I've seen in Wuthering Waves history. This might be the most disliked Wuthering Waves video ever made. A lot of people didn't like what I said. Let's talk about why. This is the reputation. This is what he's known for. And there's a reason why he seldomly uploads any Wuthering Waves content at all, when previously he was doing a fair amount of it. And now to see posts like this referenced to in mainstream Wuthering Waves media Jesus Christ, this has to be one of the most devastating blows I've ever seen to a former content creator of the game that I have ever seen in my fucking life. Because, guys, it gets worse. The crash out gets worse. We're just gonna play the whole fucking thing now.
It's not worth it. They're too stupid to live. It's absurd. It's like, I like Wuthering Waves, but like, man, the online community is just insane, bro. Yeah, they try to pretend that they're so much better than Hoyo, but like, they're also shitty. Both can be shitty, man. They always say the craziest shit. Even though I play more Wuthering Waves than them, even though I spend more money on Wuthering Waves than them, even though I probably enjoy the game more than them, and that's why I actually give complaints about things that matter. You know what? Why am I being invited to Curl Fest?
Why am I being invited to Curl Fest and they're not? Jenazad, here's a good statement to make in response to that. Why are you getting shit on by the by the Wuthering Waves marketing team and nobody else is? Why is there a fat dookie from the Wuthering Waves artists, from like the Wuthering Waves publishing team? Why are they all shitting on you? And how is it 8 months after the incident, it's still getting referenced and it's still getting talked about? Doesn't this mean this was just possibly the most globally recognized crash out that a gacha gamer, a gacha CC has ever had? And now it's going to be recognized even more? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a creator over here who I genuinely think is one of the most farmable individuals on the planet. Because he's got a history, right? He's got a history of not just crashing out when it comes to getting called a clapped walnut. He also has a history of crashing out on behalf of other Wuthering Waves creators who had their sponsorships revoked by Kuro Games. Here, we've got the Maggie situation. And all of you individuals, right? All of you individuals might not be super familiar with what happened over here. Maggie was a content creator for Wuthering Waves who was in the CC program. And one of the rules of the CC program is that you're not allowed to leak things. And what Maggie did was, well, she leaked calculations for unreleased characters, and as a result was kicked out of the program. And so Jenazad over here was somebody who, for some odd reason, really wanted to defend Maggie. And as he was reviewing the situation through the retard from Japan's videos, well, he kind of crashed the fuck out.
Okay. What are you fucking people not getting?
It still scares me.
Okay? I literally said from the fucking get-go that this is going too far and overstepping.
Guys, there's theory crafting for Cantarella's kit on the screen, by the way. That's Abyssal Rebirth, the title surge coordinated attack, Inherent Poison, Hazy Dream, along with the Jolt proc. That's what's in the background of this clip. Under what context is hitting your table like you're in an MMA match? And under what context is doing that justified? Under what context does any of that even make sense? Bro, there is literally a theory crafting Excel sheet in the background.
Do any of you fucking morons still not understand that? I literally said that from the start. Okay? I'm done with you fucking idiots for the past 10 minutes saying, well, actually, it's going too far and it is a leak.
They're talking about contracts and NDAs. That is the framing of this conversation. They're talking about NDAs. And this guy got this fucking heated over them. I made a joke. Hello, officer? And then he got up in arms. Oh, Satan accused me of being a wife beater. You can see over here, this is one of the most performative CCs in the space, where they are under the impression that they can't do any wrong at all, where they can fuck up this badly, basically tell the entire community to go re-roll IRL, that they're worthless, that they're a waste of breath, start doing like the fucking Fortnite dance while like talking about how they're going to Curl Fest and how much better they are as a person because they spend more money on Wuthering Waves. This guy said all of those things because he got called a clapped walnut and recognized almost no wrongdoing at all in his dog shit, unbelievable apology that just basically got laughed at by the entire space. This is an individual who does not know how to take any accountability at all. And instead of just, I guess, maybe just attempting to salvage their career, All he could say throughout this video was that, man, you guys are really freaking out over the 7 out of 10 score. You guys are really freaking out. I can't believe you guys would make such a big deal out of a score like 7 out of 10. Like, you guys are just mad at me because I rated it low. He still wasn't able to take accountability for the fact that he was like bragging about how much money he spent, and that like somehow meant that his opinion was worth more, and that he also basically again told the entire community to just go do something in Minecraft. And the craziest thing is, guys, he still hasn't done it. He just decided to quit the game and move on instead, despite the fact that Wuthering Waves was easily the game that made his career. Just spat in the face of the entire community and then moved on. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like anybody else is moving on, especially not the official Wuthering Waves marketing team, as we head into the anniversary. Because how else do you explain this? Imagine being referenced in this way. Imagine being considered this much of a laughingstock by the developers themselves. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you completely assassinate your own reputation as a content creator. And the fact that I'm seeing official materials from Kuro Games talking about this exact issue, bringing it back up so that we can all share a laugh again. Holy fuck. Because one thing is abundantly clear regarding this circumstance. I think that these artists are from CN. I think that this is a CN sort of like created image that proceeded to get translated, do all of that stuff, right? And one thing that's obvious from this situation is that the 7 out of 10, Jenazad drama, all of that, his dog shit apology, all of those things, they pissed the fuck out of CN. He was literally becoming mainstream for how absurd his crash out was, to the point where this Glaive Keo video, right, that we were talking about before, this Glaive Keo video over here that goes through the entire drama, it got translated and advertised all over Billy. And then it's just comment after comment, right? Of people just shitting on him. And the funniest thing ever was that Jenazad was trying to blame me. LOL, my community? You know I can look at statistics on my own videos, right? It's literally all Saint viewers. Why the fuck is China shitting down your throat then? Like, why is everybody in China shitting down your throat? Is China full? Are these all my Saint? Are these all Saint viewers as well? This is the type of guy he is. Still to this day, trying to blame everybody else in this situation. Try to blame anybody he can find, except himself. And one thing that the content creation space really loves doing is making fun of people that can't take accountability. And I think this is the reason why we're seeing this dredge back up again. Because, ladies and gentlemen, he became such a massive meme that at Kuro Fest itself, right, this event that he bragged about going to, there were literal CN players that went to Kuro Fest too and like followed him around and took photos of him. Imagine that your EN Wuthering Waves 2.5 story take was so ridiculous and the situation became so absurd that you had on the ground CN Wuwa players so invested that they found him at Kuro Fest. And obviously, we addressed the situation ourselves. We were saying CN's going a little bit too far over here. I don't think they were taking on the role of like harassing him. I think they were taking on the role of like paparazzi at this point. He is a celebrity. This guy is basically a notorious celebrity. That's how far this went, ladies and gentlemen. That's how far this has gone. And I think it has been immortalized in CN as a whole because genuinely, he went fucking viral for how absurd his takes were and how absurd his commentary was to the entire community. He's a fucking celeb. And what better way to bring that situation back up than to have it in official Wuthering Waves marketing material? Infamous. And I'm going to be honest. Knowing the history that I have with this guy, knowing that this individual, right, is on the record, trying to blame me for everything that happened to him, when the reality is, he's the one that told the entire community to go re-roll IRL. I didn't make him say that. He's the person that crashed out over constructive criticism in his comments section, right? And getting called a clapped walnut, with that being the most offensive fucking comment there. He's the one that crashed out because of that. I didn't make him crash out. And of course, when it comes to shit like the Maggie situation, his like pink girlfriend, right? Because I don't know why the fuck else you would start performing MMA on your fucking furniture if not for somebody that you deeply cared about. I didn't make him do that. He decided to karate chop the shit out of that on his own. But he wants to find a way to make me the root cause of everything, ladies and gentlemen. And so naturally, bro's like a snake in my boot. We gotta get him out. We gotta expose him. We gotta show him the light. And so at every single opportunity, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do that. And if you're wondering a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, about why Jenazad and I have such a rough and tenuous history together, let me direct you to a stream that I had, our very first interaction one-on-one ever. I don't think things were ever the same after this one.
You know, it gets views. You're 100% correct. You are not wrong whatsoever, right?
A big item.
Also,
sorry,
okay,
continue.
wait, really quick, wait. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but really quick. Bro, your chat is so aggressive, it's insane, dude. Like,
Where? Like, just...
Like, people were like, oh, he's a snowflake, just let him talk. Bro, I just want to have a civil discussion. I'm not, like, trying to have, like, this fat argument, you dumb fuck. You stupid morons in chat. Like, oh, you baby. Bro, because I'm trying to talk to another human, you dumb fucking idiot. Okay.
Where?
Okay? You stupid morons in chat that are faceless. You can't even speak, okay? You don't have a voice, so shut the fuck up, dumbass.
This was the first interaction I had on stream with him. He asked to come on to stream, and then he did this. There's not a single offensive comment being made by anybody in chat.
Okay? I'm trying to have a discussion with someone else, not you, you dumb moron, okay?
Guys, let's relax and chat a little bit. Let's relax. Guys,
like, bro, in your chat earlier, when I said I had 1,900 things, I had like a couple people literally at me like, you're an idiot. Because I had 1,900 echoes. Like,
so? Bro's like crying because like he had a full echo inventory and like people in chat were calling him dumb because his inventory was full. Bro, it's like... Do the crash outs make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Does the grudge make sense? Do the comments where Mr. 7 out of 10 over here, the clapped walnut, right, was trying to blame me for everything, right? They all are starting to make way more sense, right? This dude has the emotional stability of a fucking fruitcake. And he's held on to that grudge. And obviously, because I play a lot of Wuthering Waves, make a lot of videos and stuff, I think he just hates the game too because it's related to me. Because otherwise, how can you explain this crazy man, right? How can you explain this crazy guy somehow finding a way, right, to pin all of this on me? His crash out, him telling people to reroll IRL, him getting memed on in CN, him getting constructively critiqued in his comment section, him deleting his own video, him apologizing like a fucking moron. He tries to pin all of it on me. But thankfully, obviously, you can tell by the like ratios and the shit like that, nobody in the space bought it. And this shit was so ridiculous, even Kuro Games is making fun of him too. Well, ain't that a kick in the head? And so hopefully, this history lesson over here, this breakdown over here, this granting of the elite ball knowledge regarding this score, hopefully it was helpful. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.